What's up, crypto community, and welcome to a new one. Today we're touching a very delicate topic. It's on everybody's minds in the drip community, and people are a bit confused as to why this is happening, what is the consequence of all of this, and where are we heading. So I just want to touch base on a few things to make most people understand that what is actually happening with us minting tokens doesn't mean that it's the end of the world, we're gonna go on a death spiral, etc, etc. So yeah, there's a few things that one should understand overall in order to assess and comprehend that it's fine. Everything's gonna be fine as long as the fundamentals are there. So this one you don't want to miss. Let's roll. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, it has begun. The thing that was being discussed for the past couple of weeks, with the tax vault being drained, like slowly, and everyone was like, okay, here it comes, we're gonna be minting tokens, it's the end, done. Now, first things first, it started today, and it's not the end. The price is still a 2-digit price, it didn't move much, and this is due to a few things. Now, the first thing that came to people's mind is that, all right, now the supply is gonna increase, means more sell pressure, means more tokens are gonna be dumped into the market, hence everyone's gonna be panicking, and I think right now there are about 300k tokens inside wallets that are gonna be dumped. Well, not quite. So first things first, you gotta understand that the most important thing in this whole protocol is liquidity, and that is still healthy. Now, I'm sure most of you are familiar with the garden, right? Where we actually created a liquidity token, dripBUSD, through the liberation contract, where we give out BUSD and then we can create dripBUSD in return. And I think today the price of a dripBUSD token is about 11, yeah, that's it, more like $12. So yeah, so going back to the garden, we can see that there are about 400k dripBUSD LP tokens into the contract, locked. They can be withdrawn, of course, but the withdrawal rate is really slow right now. Even though everyone is just taken out, it's still really slow, like 1-2k a day perhaps, I'm not sure. But anyways, that's about, if take into consideration that one LP is $12, so that would be about $5 million of liquidity. Yeah, that's pretty good. Just look at the market cap to liquidity ratio and you can understand that that's a lot. You see, it's actually right here, 4.5 million. Yeah, sorry, I exaggerated slightly, but still. So there's that. There's also the liquidity available on the DEX, on the fountain itself, provided by the reservoir that is always being fed, right? Meaning the liquidity also increases. So liquidity wise, we are fine, we're healthy, no need to panic there. Now, when it comes to the supply part, yeah, if you go to the contract balance on BSC scan, you can see that just refresh, just to make sure that we either shifted or not. So yeah, we have about 13.3k tokens on top of the 1 million supply. Now, what does that mean? Now, the tax vault, as you all know, pays up the 1% daily. If I go to my Faucet, my 1% in my available right here is being paid from the tax vault. Now, since the contract is deployed and no one controls it, that payout has to come from somewhere in case the tax vault is drained. And where would it come from? The mint function. So the mint function generates drip tokens in order to pay out those 1% daily dividends for us. So it's still paying us, which is pretty cool. Now put that aside. This means that the tokens are not being dumped into the circulating supply. If I go back to the circulating supply right here, they're not being dumped. It's still at 202K, right? Plus whatever is on PancakeSwap. So that didn't change. It's not like we have more. And by the way, that's our, speaking of liquidity, that's our fountain liquidity. And one drop is equal to one drip times 1 BNB. So that's a lot, right? So if you multiply 7.2K times, I think today, let's say BNB 300, right? The 7.2K times 4K, yeah. Anyways, again, it's not going to the circulating supply unless people sell. So the mint part is not technically increasing the supply, the circulating supply, which is what matters. It's just paying us, right? And we choose what to do with it. Now, if you're a smart person, right, you keep on hydrating and you can even deposit a new wallet, putting new drip, and perhaps increasing the tax vault a bit. So that doesn't mean that we're gonna keep on minting forever. I think this is just a temporary thing while the animal farm launches again, fully launches, hopefully next week, and the future utility comes into play. So with that being said, in my opinion, the panic should disappear, because if you really think about it, our liquidity pools are healthy, our roadmap is still on track, the dev team is still working, the protocol is still paying, and we're still in the 2 digits. And we're more than a year old, whilst paying 1% a day, where other protocols have disappeared after a month or two, whilst paying even less. So keep that in mind. If you really believe that this is where we're heading, if you really believe that whatever is coming is bullish and would increase our exposure and our price action and our liquidity, etc., then there's no reason to panic. Nothing changed. Everyone who is selling right now, of course, it's your choice to do so. You might have gotten really early or not, depending on your strategy. If you want to auto eye on the spot, again, no one judges anyone here. You're free to do whatever you want. It's a free market. But keep in mind that this is not gonna cause a dump. Just because we're minting a few tokens to pay the dividends, that doesn't mean that, yeah, it's gonna go out of hand. So just remember all of this, right? Follow the most important things when it comes to a protocol, not just these small outliers that come up along the way. So those are the mint that happened today and most probably gonna continue for a few days. Don't get your hopes up until the animal farm relaunches fully, until also the scratch lottery tickets that are gonna come up. This is very cool. Like, it's gonna give us a daily buyback. Now the amount, of course, cannot be determined, depends on the demand. But whatever is coming, if done right, is gonna take us to all new highs, whilst also paying us 1% a day. So yeah, so keep that in mind. And if you ever get confused about anything, I know the main drip chat could be, right, a jungle sometimes. Like, you might ask a question, might get overlooked, people fighting. Yeah, it's a bit childish sometimes. So you might want to get into a smaller room to feel the peace and quiet and to ask your questions. And one I would suggest is my personal community that I'm part of. And I'm gonna link it in the description below. And just a quick, yeah, it's DeFi Ascension. Just a quick shout out for these guys, because we're into not only drip, actually, we're into many things related to the passive income niche. And if you check my playlist, you'll see what we have another project coming up that we're all bullish on. So yeah, go there, ask your questions, and don't panic. That's the most important part. Alright guys, so that's it from me today. That's all I wanted to say. Maybe I rambled a bit longer than I should have, but I wanted just to get the message out there. I really hope you learned something and you found this video useful. And stay tuned. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. There will always be more videos related to crypto and DeFi, so all the things we love. And as always, trade responsibly and take care of your finances. Thanks for watching.